Hello, hello, and good evening, guys. Am I audible? Yes, okay. So, welcome to day 5 of Hello World. We are 5 days down, and it has actually gone quite fast, right? So, it has gone fast for us anyway. We are having lots of fun here, and thank you so much for still sticking with us and trusting us on this. Uh, we hope that today's session will also be a great experience for you guys. So today we have a special session on Android. Now, Android is not a new thing. It is something that has been around for almost 10-15 years now. And Android is like, I think in India, in the Indian market, we have more Android phones than iPhones compared to outside countries. So Android programming and making apps in Android is something that most of us must have tried out at least at some stage. And I'm pretty sure there's no none of us who hasn't had an idea for an app at some point in our lives. We might always get an idea. How would I make an app for this or an app for that? So that has always been there. So in today's session, what we are thinking of doing is like giving a quick overview. Like unfortunately, like yesterday's session too, the Android Studio is something that requires a lot of that has a lot of heavy system requirements for functioning smoothly. So having a complete hands-on session may not be practical for everyone. So we have a very talented speaker today, and he has been in the Android field for almost 5 to 6 years now. He is also a very close friend of mine and a teammate in most of the hackathons that we go to. And it's always him. It's always the app that he builds that has given us an edge over the other teams. So we have Shaheen Anas with us. He is an Android developer. He is currently placed at Sorty for a very huge package. I'm not going to tell you the amount details. He has been the lead developer of Android at DSC VAST for the past 2 years. When I was the lead, and even before me, when we had another senior as the lead, both years he was the Android lead. And he'll be taking you through some of the basics of Android, how the whole front end part works, how the whole XML part works in an Android, and all those things. I'll let him speak on those. So over to you, Shaheen. Thank you so much for being with us here today. Thank you for agreeing to take this session. Let's all have a good session today.
So, hi guys, am I audible? Yes, I guess. And as you can see, my cam is not that good, so I'm turning that off, and it's no good, right? Turning it on. So, guys, I think you all know about Android. It's nothing new. Like when you heard about Figma, you will be like, "What is it?" When you heard about Unreal Engine, you guys be like, "What is it?" And Git. I think for some people it may be a mystery, but Android is not. Android is common. Android is everywhere. In everyday life, you have Android. You start your day with Android. You take WhatsApp, it's an Android app. You take Facebook, you take Instagram. Whatever you take, it's Android because it's computing on the go. It's in your hand. So this session is basically how to develop an app. So I'll start with a random PPT that I made in Figma, and I learned Figma from my friend Hemant itself. So I'll present my screen first of all. Wait. Yeah, I think my screen is visible to you all. Is it visible? I think yes. So we will head over to the web version of Figma, and this is the PPT that I made. I actually didn't know about Figma before. I learned it from Hemant, from that same class we all heard. So welcome to Android. So first we will start, and this is a basics of Android session. That means attend this session and you are really good to go. That means if you attend this session and you can go out and build an app, and that's all. That's all you need to know. This 2 hours of Android. But this is a lie, guys. In last week, GDC Melbourne, like they conducted 11 weeks of Android basics. So 2 hours of Android basics is nothing. I can really say that. But I am pretty much confident that I can give you some of the basics to get you started. Okay. So let's head over to. If you search in YouTube, like how to make an Android app, you will get these tutorials. If you look closely, there is an 8-hour 37-minute video from Edureka, from a professional teaching platform. That's about Android full, that means basics. And you can see that there is an 84 video playlist and 126 video playlist. That means Android basics is huge. Huge means you know that the functionalities of an application every day is your application. So everything has basics, every functionality has basics. So it is very impossible to learn every basics and go out and build some app. But still there are some theories. So let's head over to the theory part. Now, there are different approaches to building an application. You can use drag and drop tools. I have seen many people commenting Wix.com in our comments in before sessions. Wix is basically a drag and drop tool to make website, or you can just code. But if you really want to build an application so quick, I would say just hire someone and pay them. That is the way to go. But I'm not here to say to you that just go out and hire someone and make them do the job. I will teach you, but I was saying the truth. If you really need an app in a month, in a week or two, just hire someone and pay them if that is your purpose. Now, I will head over to the next session, that is skills you need. The skills means, I would say you need to know Java or Kotlin. Actually, you don't need to know Java or Kotlin, but that is the skill we require. We can learn that by making apps, this Java or Kotlin. We can just go out in Android Studio and just read out that code. Then we will be good to go. We will know what is Java, what is Kotlin. But if you head over to the Android developer site, this is developer.android.com. I will put that in the comment. Developer, wait, okay, what is this? Okay, this is like a Wikipedia for the Android developers. So you must know this site. If you are an Android developer, then you should know this site. So when I take that, build anything in Android, and they say that Android Studio right above on the top, that means Android Studio is much important. And they say Kotlin. Before 2 years, they said Java there, but now they replaced Java with Kotlin. But still, you can make app with Java because most of the libraries, most of the old libraries are in Java, but the newer apps and newer applications and newer developers learn Kotlin. Kotlin doesn't make it simple for you, but if Java have 100 lines of code, Kotlin will only have a 10 to 20 lines of code. That's all. It's like a short form shortcut language. So that is the language you need to know. And there is an optional thing. You can learn Dart or React Native. That is for building apps that work both in Android and iOS, which is not in the scope of this course. So let's speak some sense. Okay. So how will you write code? Just go out, open a notepad, just type my app.java. Then that is your main page. But the truth is, this is gonna cost you an eternity. I'm pretty sure that, because first you need to write from the scratch and make it communicatable to your phone and configure an SDK and stuff. That is a pain, right? So to make this simple, as we saw on our developers.android.com, there is Android Studio. This is the tool that we use to build application. That's all. Android Studio is it. Android Studio, wait, I have it on my laptop. I will show you. Yeah. This is Android Studio, and you can download that from this developer.android.com. Do anyone have that with you right now? Like, do anyone have experience in Android development? No, it's okay. Then if you don't have any experience, then this is the right class. If you have experience, then there is no meaning of sitting in here. Okay, I was building a project yesterday. Sorry, I will cancel that. This is the Android Studio. You can create Flutter apps, as I said, the Dart language. You can create that here too. You can create an Android project. Remember this get from version control? It actually means Git and GitHub that Gion taught yesterday. You can put your code in GitHub and directly fetch to your Android Studio and modify it and upload it just from the Android Studio. Okay, and it have a lot of functionalities. If you head over to the Android Studio tab in here, you can see that it is filled with a lot of functionalities like real-time memory management, CPU efficiency, network speed, how many space, how can you reduce your space. It will help you like prevent your errors and stuff, everything. It's super feature rich. Android Studio is super rich with features, but the basic requirements are 8 GB RAM, Windows 7 Plus, and 4 GB space in your computer. And processor i3 or i5 8th gen I would prefer. Okay, I will share you the link. Actually, if you search Android Studio in Google, you will receive this same link. So as I told, Android Studio is super feature rich and it helps you a lot because it does the most of your work. So it requires a lot of specification. This is not a much of a specification in 2020, but this is used to be a hard to get specification back then. But now it's fine. My lab is a potato lab, but it still runs Android Studio pretty much fine. Let's decode some famous design. Now, let's head over to development, the actual development. Um, I think my reveal button isn't working. Okay. I think you all are familiar with this design. If you have attended that Figma class, this is the design you have made, right? This design. This is the design you made in Figma class. So let's decode how to implement this, how to understand this design. As you all know, in Figma, this person, this girl, this white background, everything was different components, right? Like, but when you are coding in Android Studio, try to make it a whole image. Like, take this a whole image, and that is an image view. Now, this text is actually a fancy colored C in it. So I think it's so hard to get that C individually colored. So better take is an image view, but for the reference of text view, I just put it text view. Here is the text view, your portfolio. This text will be residing on a text view. Okay. Now I would say this whole color in the background is a background color. You need to set that as a background color and place this image view on top and this to our button view. I was just decoding some famous designs. Let's log in. Okay, this is called camel casing. If you observe clearly, I have returned image view with I capital and V capital. I have returned a text view with T capital and V capital. Like, it's a weird syntax, right? It's not in English grammar. It's called Android grammar. And the main part of Android grammar is camel casing. So when naming a text view, the T must be capital, the V must be capital. When naming a constant like pi, then it must be full on caps. And if you are naming a function, it would start with a small letter, then it will have capital on each and every word starting. You are initiating a variable, then it must be a small letter. If you are initiating a class, it must start with a capital letter, and the next word should start with a capital letter. That is the basics. So in Android, there is basically XML and Java. I will show you, I will start a project. So can you see the Android Studio? Can I get a yes in chat? Yes. Actually, I'm not asking do you have any doubt because I haven't started the actual class yet. I was giving you a lecture on Android. So let's start our class. This is the Android Studio. Basically, you open it and you see that start new Android project. That's what we want to do. There is no doubt there. Just click start new Android Studio project. And it says select a project template. If you are in development, you already know what a template is. Anybody doesn't know what is a template? I think you all know about template because I am seeing no in chat. So you have basic activity. This activity, it looks very similar. It's similar to our WhatsApp homepage. Let's head over to Google. Just Google WhatsApp's homepage. Uh, okay, I'm really scared to search, but I have to. WhatsApp homepage. Yeah, here it is. This is a old homepage. I'm really sorry. This is not what I meant. Yeah, here it is. Where is that? Yeah, here it is. You can see that there is a floating button here. There is a tabbed activity. No, there is homepage. So when you head over to Android Studio, this template represents that WhatsApp homepage. So if you want to create a WhatsApp, choose this template. Bottom navigation activity. This is a new template. It is being adapted by many apps, but it is not yet there. If you use PhonePe, you will know that this is the layout they use. And in some other app I have seen, but it's not that commonly used, this bottom navigation, because I don't like that much. You have Google Maps activities. If you are creating an application to track, well, consider Uber, Ole. It have maps, right? If you are going to build that map, you choose Google Maps activity, and if you are choosing login, just choose login activity. I think you got the basic idea. There is navigation drawer activity. If you want that Play Store like interface which have a navigation drawer, this means that comes from the side, and you should choose navigation drawer activity. If you are developing a settings activity, you choose this. If you are developing a scrolling activity, you choose this. If you are choosing a tabbed activity, you already know what tabbed activity means. Here it is. This is the tabbed activity, and you can choose tabbed activity. And this is fragment plus view mode. Actually, this is the new method of coding. I am not exactly there, but I think this is the most preferred method nowadays. But now you are good to go with the old method. That is, take an empty activity. When you take an empty activity, you can implement all these templates in empty activity. Like WhatsApp, consider WhatsApp. It has basic activity plus tabbed activity plus there is settings and things over there, right? So you can take an empty activity, implement a tab, implement a floating action button, and make it a basic activity plus tabbed activity. So developers always choose empty activity and start from scratch. And I'll go next. In this next screen, it is pretty much self-explanatory. First thing, it is name. That means name of your application. What's up? What's up? I don't want to be filed with copyright infringement. And this basically means your company name. I don't have a company, so homeless.com. Maybe you should write in reverse order, home.homeless, and your app name, that is WhatsApp. WhatsApp. Extra AO. This is save location. It is also self-explanatory, like where you need to save your project and all. Language. Yeah, here is the main part. I am teaching you Java. I'm not exactly teaching you Java. You are, after this class, you are very much good to go with Kotlin. But for now, I'm choosing Java, and I'm not going to teach you any Java. So if you choose Kotlin or Java, you need to figure it out yourself. So there is no big deal there. I'm choosing Java. There is minimum SDK. Minimum SDK basically means that like where should your app work? Do you know Android versions? I think you all know about Android versions, right? Yes. Is there anyone don't know about Android versions? Yeah. So what is your phone's Android version? It may be Android 9 or 10. So if I choose here, I go and choose like Android R. It is not going to work on any devices because the minimum required is Android R. If I choose 10, it will work on 8.2% of devices. And if I go back to Oreo, 60% of devices, but I want my app accessible to everyone. So I will choose Lollipop, and that's the low I can go, because before that we have ice cream sandwich that is almost forgotten, jelly bean, Kit Kat Wear, Lollipop, and I think we are pretty much good to go with Lollipop. So I will take Lollipop. The next option is use legacy Android support libraries. If you go to tutorials in YouTube, I don't really know about this, but I will explain, because when you go to YouTube, you will see that people using some alpha, beta, but when you open your code, you will see Android X everywhere. That means that is the new method, but if you go to the old tutorials, you will see those libraries. So just uncheck it, because we are new. We learn from the professional. So just uncheck that and click finish. Let the Android Studio do your job. You don't need to take a notepad. You don't need to have all that stress. Android Studio will build 75% of your app, I guess. I think if so, we have a lot of time, I guess, while building this app, because that will take some time, because Android Studio is automated. We are not doing anything. It made a simple. It is just asking for some time. I have a noisy home, so please forgive me if any background noises interfere. Please feel free to say to me that if I have any noise. Also, my KSCB is very rude to me whenever I am taking class. It will go off. So if that's the case, I will go. Okay, now let's head over to the Android. It's still running. I think it's still running. I think it's still running. As I said, when we say Android, there is XML, there is Java. So where is my slide? Ah, here it is. When we say Android, it's basically XML and Java. When we go to XML, there are views and view groups. Can anyone tell what views are? I have already told you about views. Views? Anyone? UI? Yeah, generally speaking UI, but I told you about text view, image view, and background colors. That's all our view, right? Yeah, view, yeah, like text view fragments. Yeah, you know a bit more, Yadu Krishnan, I think. Okay, now let's head over to our activity.xml. We see what we see here. Constraint layout. I don't really know about constraint layout, so let's head over to linear layout. There is an error. See, Android Studio is telling me that there is an error, so I should just fix it. I think I'm going to go. Oh, there is still an error. So Android Studio just built this code for me, like this all code. It's already there. I can just run my application, and it will be an app created by me, but I didn't do any work. Android Studio did, right? So that's it. That's actually a hello world in Android Studio. You got it, guys. That's actually the first step of beginning. But I'll explain more. Let's go to views. I think you already know about views: image view, text view, background, button view, everything. That is views. Now let's go to XML. There is view groups. Okay, let's explain what is view groups. I will start my emulator here. I will explain these stuffs later. Just preparing myself here. Okay. So guys, you are building. Why did I change it? I didn't. Okay. Guys, now let's speak some sense. We are building applications for what? We are building application for mobiles, right? Yeah, we need our app to run in a mobile. So our mobile is called a parent. But talking sense, our mobiles are from China. Since they are from China, they are only allowed to have only one child. That means your application can only have one text view or one image view or one whatever. Like your application can only have an image view. So how will we make this application? Like there is button view, there is another button view, there is a text view, there is an image view at the top. How will we like include them all? If our parent is from China, it can only have one child. So we need view groups. That is view groups. As you saw when I code, I changed this to linear layout. So it is pretty much self-explanatory that there are view groups like linear layout, there is relative layout, there is constraint layout, which I removed because I am not similar with constraint layout. Let me explain what linear layout and relative layout is. In linear layout, you keep views as a stack. Like here is a text view. Let me open up a split tab. I think it is visible for you. Oh, here is that text view. I will change that text to something else. Yeah, just remove this. Okay. First, we want a text view. Yes, we want a text view. See, Android Studio filled it up for me. It is asking me the width of the view. I have match parent, I have wrap content, I have fill parent, which is deprecated, so don't use that. Match parent means if I put match parent, you can see that the width is the whole screen. So if I put wrap content, the width is 0. This is because there is no content yet. The height I will put wrap content also, and let's enter some text here. Enter translate. Figma. Let's stop picking up on Figma. Studio is great. Let's say that. Studio is great, right? It does all of the work for us. Let's make it big. So I will head over to. I need to make the size bigger. So I will type size. There is scroll bar size, auto size. There is text size. So let's go to text size, and I want it 50. There you go. It is 50. But see, there is an error. Why there is an error? Can anyone guess why there is an error? How to have a background like portfolio? You are very ambitious, Sagar. I will reach there, sure. Can anyone say why there is an error when I said 50? Pixel DP. Sagar Pandey is kind of right, because when we say something like I want to go to Kodunallur and it is 16 kilometers long, right? So there is like a distance unit. There is a standard unit we use when we mention a measurement. So when we are saying the text size, there must be some kind of unit there. And in Android Studio and in Android, it is called SP. It is not the SP that you think of. It's space independent pixel. That means if you are a geek like me, you would know that Samsung has higher resolution than many of the Android devices out there. If you take a Redmi phone, it will have lower resolution. That means resolution means pixels per inch. There is a lot of pixels. Like how can I explain? If you if you are not using SP, this text will look very small in Samsung phones and very big in your local phones. So that's why use SB, and the Android Studio and the app will understand that I meant space independent pixel, and it will look exactly the same in every platform. That's why we use SP here. And I'm having a call right now, and I don't know who. So let's head over to here. But you can see that there is a red line. Tag start is not closed. I love you so much, Android Studio, because it just showed me my error, right? Now I want another view. Since this is in a view group, we can have multiple child. We are in India, not in China. Let's enter some other text view. Wrap content, text. Whatever. I don't know what to type. And We can also choose text appearance if we want. I didn't used to use this before, but I will use text appearance, and I want it to large. There is something called largest. Yeah, I think I'm good to go. It made my text large, and there is one more error. What is that? Hmm. 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 I know it. Let's just close the tag. That's it. Okay. Now let us look at. Hey, what is wrong? This is not what I expected. I expected studio is great and blah to be below this text view. Hmm. I think there is something wrong. Uh, yeah, there is something wrong. It is horizontal and it look weird. I need to make it something better. Let me check with my view group. Is there any tag? Yeah, orientation. Yeah, I got it. I think I got it. Yeah, it's fine. Now my text views are below to each other. Let's say you want some space in between them. Let's apply background colors. So, there is background, and at Android, color black, white, hollow green dark. I will go with hollow green dark. I think those bad here. And now let's head over to the next text view. Let's give it a red color. So color, no color. Okay, background. There is background. At Android, red. Do we have a red? I have a red. Now it looks beautiful and stunning, just like that Figma design, right, guys? I was just kidding. It's so hard to get like that. Layout? I didn't get your question. Can you just describe your question? Yes, nothing. Okay. Okay, and now you can see that there is not much space in between them. What if I needed some space? Like, oh shit. I'm really sorry about that. What if we need some space in between them? Like, I need a studio is great and a blah to keep some distance because studio is much great and blah is not that great. I will say keep some margin and 20 margin you keep. Okay. Oh, guys, there is some error. What could be that error? Anyone, please explain. Why is that error? SP. Yeah, you got it. Ashwin, as Ashwin said, we need to use SP. But there is a but. Because as I said, we say distance in kilometer. But do we say weight in kilometer? No, we use another unit. But you had the point correct. We had to use a unit here, which is DP, display independent pixels. That one was space independent pixels. This was display independent pixel. Actually, there is no use of knowing the definition of DP and SP and why is it. Just use it and you are good to go. Right? Oh my god, it used margins all sides, like four sides. Now there is margin. There is margin to the bottom, margin to the left, margin on the top. I just want margin on my bottom. So what will I do? Let's type bottom here. Padding bottom, drawable bottom. There is layout margin bottom. Let's go and apply a 20 dp. Yeah, and I want some margin to the left. So margin left is the let's type 10 dp. Okay, so I got margin to the left, but there is some suggestion. Consider replacing Android layout margin left with Android layout margin start. Yeah, I think Studio is suggesting something, so let me do that. Yeah, it does the same job, but and it got rid of that warning. So just use that, and you are good to go. And I want my blast background color to be bigger. Like there is no much space for that text to sit in that color, right? So let's give it some space. I think I can use margin for that. No, it didn't bring much space in there. I think uh, can we Google it? Let's Google it. Right. Match parent. Yeah, that's another good option. Like, okay, with match parent, but it made it a lot bigger. Right? I just need some space here. This is not the right way, I guess. Yeah, why don't we Google? Actually, the employees at Google who are developing Android apps will Google. Let's Google something. Like, make Android view bigger. But to create a view that is bigger than the screen. No, no, that's not what I want. Bigger than size. Hmm. Do I have any answer? No, I don't. Guys, I do already know the answer, but I just want to demonstrate you how to get answer from Google. But sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it do work. So let's get real. You need to use padding here. Just give it 20 dp and that's it. It's bigger. That's what I wanted. All right. I think that covers everything about text view and view group. Um, Now, do anyone have doubt about linear layout? Anyone? If any of you have doubt about linear layout, please ask. Because there is a lot of theory coming, and it is going to be boring. So I don't want to keep you boring. Just ask. I am drained. Just ask, please. I think no one had any doubt. Oh, again. My God. Can you please repeat? No, that's not the doubt I am expecting. Okay. So Jobin, what's not clear about linear layout? It's just a simple theory. Linear layout help you keep these views. Now these views are child. This is a child. This is a child. So this, where is it? Okay. This linear layout helps the parent, that is our mobile, to have one or more child. Like, our mobile can have only one child. Let's get real. I will take this text view and paste it out of the there is a lot of error because we need all these here. Recommend linear layout. See, it do work without a view group. My parent is having a child, studio is great. And what if my parent want to have another child, like blah, as I said? It is showing an error, right? It is showing multiple root tag because your phone can only have one child. Difference between DP and SP. Yeah, that is exactly what I said before. There is no sense in knowing what is the difference between DP and SP. It is just an why isn't that? Why is in the second text view blur away from the margin in the code? That doesn't matter. Hmm? I didn't get that question. First, I will answer that question. What is the difference between DP and SP? There is no sense in knowing the difference between DP and SP because that is not going to help you with learning Android. Just use DP where you want to use DP, or just use SP where you want to give text size. That's all. And why is the blah not away from the margin? Okay, we just gave the text view margin start, but we didn't give the blah the margin. If I gave margin here, like 20 dp, yeah, it will move. Obviously, it did move, right? I can also give margin inside here, like margin 30 dp. It will all move. It will converge like that. There is a lot of margin in there. I think that answers your question. I will head over to the linear layout here. I think, okay, I will take the slideshow here. These two guys sitting in this bathtub, that is relative layout. like let's head out to the Android Studio and change our linear layout to relative layout. Oh, Studio did change that too for me. I'm blessed, I guess. As you can see, one view is on top of another view. If we want this kind of customization, we need to use this relative layout. As I said, these two guys represent linear relative layout here. So I will call that first guy one, I guess. Sorry, I was typing guy, not guy one, and I will type guy two here. And there is no much sense in having an orientation relative layout. That is for linear layout. We will remove it. And okay, let's look at those guys. One guy sitting on the left corner, one guy sitting on the right corner of the button, right? So we will make our text view sit on the left corner and right corner. I will ask the guy one to move. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, I will ask the guy one to move to the left. How would I do that? Align start, align parent start. I think that would do job. Equal to true. Yeah, that guy moved to the left. Oh, there is a margin here. I will get rid of that margin. That the guy one moved to the left, and now I'm going to ask that guy right to move to the right. Align parent and equal to true. Yeah, that guy moved to the right. Uh-huh. There is a margin here too. I will remove that, I guess. So as you can see, we can ask view to sit in one corner or go to another corner. Like that is this relative layout. So these guys, one guy is sitting to the left, one guy is sitting to the right. There is a small distance between them. Let's implement that. But first, I'll give him an ID because I want to identify this guy. ID guy one, and I will give an ID here too. ID guy two, and now I will say to the guy, just get rid of this. Align right, right layout to right of guy one. Oh, that guy two is now sitting right to the guy one. Let's say we want some distance in between them. So let's say that guy two to keep some distance. Just give a margin left 10 dp. Oh, he didn't move. 50 dp? Yeah, he did move. That's the basic example, guys. I think you got the basic idea from that. I'm just trying to make this interesting. In theory, linear layout means you can keep views as a stack. One view below the other, and the other view below the other, and the other view below the other. In relative layout, you can keep views related to each other. Like we can say to one view to sit on top of the other view. We can say to one view just sit on the left side of the screen. We can say one view to sit on the right side of the screen. We can say one view to keep distance from each other. That's the basic idea of relative layout. And that is the basic view groups available in Android XML. And oh, there is one thing I mixed. I said Android is basically XML and Java. In XML, we code the UI. Actually, if you head over to the design tab, you don't need to code. You can drag a button from here. You can drag a text view from here. You can, where are you going? Come here. Sit here. You He wants it. Okay, that's because this is a linear layout. We can ask him to sit here. I will make him sit here. Hmm. Where is that button? Where is that button? Here is that button. Center. He's sitting in the center. Yeah, now that guy is sitting on the center. There is a text view. I will ask him to sit him on the bottom. Bottom. Layout align parent bottom. I put that true. The text view go to the bottom. And I want him to the bottom center. I say that center layout center vertical. True. No, that's wrong. It's horizontal. So I always mistake what is vertical and horizontal. Yeah. Now that guy is sitting on to the bottom center. Like we can make views sit wherever we want with linear layout, relative layout, and we can do like keep views as stacked together using linear layout. Now this is where we design most of our UI, but this is a button, right? We want to click on this button and perform something. Like if this is a flashlight app, we want to click this button and get our flashlight turned on. That functionality we do in Java. We will head over to Java and we will instantiate a button, like button, my button. Oh, sorry, my button. Okay, that's a little messed up. And my button. Now this is a variable of button type. Now I want to say that this variable refers to this button. Actually, this XML and Java has no much relationship between them. So we need to introduce this button in XML to Java first. So I will say this my button is equal to find view by ID. Where is that? Okay, find view by ID. And r dot id dot our button's ID name. What was it? Button, I guess. Now this my button represents the button in XML. If I click on here, I can see that, see, I did reach here. That is how we connect XML and Java. So in Java, if I want to do something with this button, I would like my button dot set on click listener. This is just a syntax you have to follow along. New on click listener, and there is the code done by Android Studio. We want to get some get get something done with button click. This is how the basics of basically Android work. Like we design UI in XML and like define the functionality in Java. Many of you asked in that Figma session, can we make this a completely functional app? Like, can we just go out design in Figma and make it a complete functional app? For that, you have to design in Figma and replicate same design in XML and write code in Java, the functionalities. Understood? So let's get real here. Where do I want to click here? Okay, I said Android is XML and Java, and we will head out to Java. Java is basically code. You just need to need a lot of code here to get things done in Java. Okay, let's get back. This is the GeoTrack app. Okay guys, now I will show you a beautiful design designed by a famous designer for our hackathon, Smart India hackathon. So this is that design. You will know who designed it. First, there is this screen and there is a login button. If I click on that, there is another activity. We need a text view. We need a field to type in our mail ID. We need a text view for password. We need a field to enter our password. We have a login title, we have a login button, we have an image view, we have a text view here. This is designed by someone famous. Like Hemant Janis, I guess. If you click login, yeah, you see that guy. Here is an image view. Here is the name of that guy. Here is the manufacturer. This is the app we built for our last hackathon. So this is the design that he gave to me. So I should replicate this, right? There is an ad button which opens up some pop-up, and there is a view product button. I can view product. I can find distributors here, view location. This is a complex design designed by Hemant, and I just need to, request verification. There is a verification button. That's it. Has something to cycle. Yeah, it's a beautifully designed UI. Now I need to replicate the same design in Android Studio, right? So you cannot directly export this to Android Studio. You need to replicate this. First, you should make your designer. Like I made Hemant export all of the components, and I got it here. And I put first component in my landing page. Like you can see that he exported every component, every little component, the fonts he used. And if I head over to login page, the components used there, and something else I wanted for the job to get done. So let's open Android Studio, and I will show you how I implemented that design in XML. What is this? Let's stop. Okay, oh, there is a phone here. This is where you run your application. Like we do have an application here. Let's press this play button. And yeah, it is installing. Still, will install. Waiting to install. Yeah, here it is. Here's your first app in your life. I was pretty much happy to have an app that was built by me. There isn't exactly any job I did here, but this application is owned by me. This app is in the name of me. That happiness, you can't get it somewhere else. You can only get it with Android. Just click that play button and you have an application. That's your own. If you want this to like install in some other mobile, just click on build and generate a build APK, and I think it will do the job. Wait a minute. Meanwhile, can I solve some doubt here? I think I have been pretty basic, but you still can ask any doubt. Shoot some doubt, please. My Android Studio hangs a lot. Yeah. Can you tell me about your RAM and processor of the laptop? That's basically because the Android Studio requires 8 GB minimum, but it will still work on a 4 GB laptop, but it will hang. i3 and 4 GB, yeah. It will work on i3 and 4 GB, but it will hang a lot. Like i3 is pretty much that not powerful to run Android Studio, and 4 GB RAM. First of all, upgrade your RAM to 8 GB. Then you will see a lot of change. Like Android Studio will then run smoother. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. Just upgrade your 4 GB to 8 GB. Can we make a Manglish converter app with Java? Yes, you can. You can build whatever you see out there. Actually, there is an application for Manglish. Yes, build Manglish. Converter Android. There is already an application Manglish, a Malayalam app to Manglish converter Android app, which is available in Play Store, which he made using Android Studio. If you go down, I think you will be able to see. Yeah, source code. If I like click on the source code, here is the source code. You can just fork it and just change something and click that play button. This Manglish app is yours. That's the beauty of Android Studio. Just click that play button. Now, where is it? Actually, if you look closely in contributors, you can see me. So I know this app very well. I have contributed a little to this application. So, what is the next question? What is it? Okay. Okay, thanks. Is it possible to make an app similar to our online social medias? Yes, of course. Like, yeah, they use Android Studio to make these apps, so it is possible to make these applications. Is all Android apps are open source? No, it is not. Actually, many of the Android apps are paid. Like, if you head over to the Play Store, you can see that. No, not they are giving us a source code, but it is paid. There is 100 rupees. Oh, sorry, that's a book actually. If you head out to the app and the categories, where is the paid section? Did they remove what? Many of the applications are paid. Like any paid application and scanner license, I guess. Let's do that. No, it was also removed. Whatever, you have seen paid apps before, so I don't need to explain it again. So that is not open source paid applications, and if it is open source, there is no point of payment, right? If it is a paid application and if it is open source, I can fork it and click this play button and I got a new application. If we simply fork and make changes, where is that question? I lost it. And publish the app, won't there be any copyright issues? It depends on the licensing. If you head over to this code, you will see some kind of license here. Go down, go down, go down. Yeah, here it is. GNU GPL3. It is licensed under GNU GPL3. There are a lot of licensing. If it is GNU GPL, you must not fork it and sell it for money. Like if you license it under like Subin did, you cannot fork it, change it, and sell it for money. You need to sell it for free, which is better idea for creating Android application. Android Studio Recruits. That's like asking, should I use a phone or not? Like Android Studio is now the gold standard of building Android application. Eclipse was before, now it is Android Studio. So Eclipse is not at all like easy to build Android apps. What is the process of license? Yeah, licensing means if I don't know much about licensing and production stuffs, but licensing means there are some rules, right? Yeah, we all use cracked applications. If we have an Adobe software in your computer, that is a cracked application because we are not paying for it. If you are having a Windows, we are not paying for it. At least it came inbuilt with our laptop, or you downloaded a cracked version. So that is illegal. That is the purpose of licensing. If Microsoft have that license, you have a chance of getting arrested or getting sued in court. It is a crime actually go against licensing. Now wrap and use commercially. Yeah, I think but there is no sense in that. As I said, if your app is an open source like Subin's app and he is selling his app for 100 rupees in Play Store, then I can fork the same and I can sell it for free. So people will buy from me because that is the same app he is selling for 100 rupees, right? Is Android getting a boost nowadays as the Flutter is being popular? Flutter is not that popular yet. Flutter will be popular soon because Flutter is capable of doing many things, but not for the coming 3 years, I guess, 3 or 4 years. Technical world changes a lot. It changes in 2 years. It changes very fast. Like it changes from Android Studio. Like I said, 2 years before they used Java as a standard. Now they use Kotlin as a standard. Few more years back they used Eclipse as a standard because there is a fast change in this field. But you won't regret learning something. because if you have learned Java, it will be very easy to shift to Kotlin. Like it is very much similar. And if you are if you spend a long time on Kotlin and Java, it will be very easy to build apps in Flutter too. You will understand the basic syntax and grammar. Anything to keep in mind as your app moves into more security dependent and Android. Yeah, before Android 6, that is Marshmallow, there was a lot of problem with Android. So the Google started making security features a lot of tight. Like in Android 11, there is that is going to be so hard to get the camera access. Now we can get the camera access easily, but it will be very hard to get camera access in Android 11. In Android 10, it is very hard to get the location permission. It is hard to get the file permission. It is hard to get the most of the permissions out there. It is very hard to get. Like oh, okay. Let's explain about getting a permission. First, there is a file called Android manifest. This is the index of our application. Like there is this icon. This means our app icon. This label means our app label. We can change this to whatever we want. Then our app name will change. There is round icon because some of the UI uses round icon. Most of the modern UI uses round icon. So specify the round icon here. It will look so beautiful. And then there is a theme. There is our activity. This is our activity, main activity, and it is the launcher activity. That means it opens up first. So to use the permission, like if your app is a tracking application, I will write here uses permission, access find location, and uses permission course location. These are the two permissions you require to access a location, and if you want a storage location, you need to read. Sorry, uses permission. Read external storage. You got the basic idea. But from Android 6, you need to also mention this permission in Java code. That means in runtime also, you need to write, like if I Google it, I can see how to request permission in Android. Declare the permission in Android manifest file, and yeah, there is a lot of other functions. We need to run this same thing in our Java code. Yeah, I'm not digging deeper into that because it is not in the scope of basics, but I will move on. Yeah, where were we? I'm just posting my Q&A for a minute. How difficult is it to make ML based applications? Wow, that is not at all basics, but I will explain. Let's head over to our Android emulator. Here is our app. Here is it. I already showed this to you. Let's stop our Android emulator. We did put something to build. There is some error here. What is it? There is no error. APK generated successful module 1 locate. Locate here. Yeah, there is our APK. Send it to your friend and say that I am awesome because I made an application. Like Hemant, I will WhatsApp this to you, install this and feel my skills. Okay. That's it, guys. That's basically how you develop Android app. And I had something in mind to do after this, and I actually yeah, to the Figma design created by Hemant. This is the thing that Hemant gave me, and now I need to decode it and implement the same in XML. So let's see how will I do that. I think it will be here somewhere. Here it is. Here's my application. There is error. That's emulator error. Just close. Just stop. Just go away. It's not going away. Yeah, it did go away. Now let's head over to source, name, source, and there is a layout. This was created by me in 36 hours. This is how a basic Android application looks like. Every activity represents a page, Actually, the page is designed by Hemant in this. So first of all, let's head over to the activity landing. Let's let this process complete and we will see the design here. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. There is a lot of loading in Android Studio, and try to make that loading as small as possible and you will be fine, or else you will be stressed like I was before. Yeah, I know. Thank you for the tip. Anyway, my loading time was so long. I just replaced my HDD. Ah, here is another Android developer, Hashim. He's my junior and he's also good at Android. Now let's talk. Okay, my loading time was so long, so that I replaced my HDD with SSD. Like Nikhil, he's my senior, he's my always mentor, and like I used an SSD, and the loading time cut by like 50%. Now it's a little bit more fast. You can see that this is how I replicated that design gave by Hemant. Is it beautiful? Yeah, it is beautiful for me. I don't know. It does. It is exactly the same. Is it exactly the same? Let me take that. Take that design. Where are you? Where are you? Yeah. This was a design gave by Hemant, and this is how I replicated it. Yeah, it is not kind of the same because you can see that the spacing between buttons, the buttons are not round cornered, and the logo is different because he gave this logo at the last time, and I had no time to replace the logo. But I think I got the job done, right? So as a developer, you need to replicate this each pixel by pixel, I would say. First of all, let's head over to the code and place this thing here. The first thing you can see in this design is that there is a lot of views on top. Like no, views are here and there. I need to say this view to stay here, this view to stay here, this buttons to buttons to buttons to stay the bottom of the screen. So I use relative layout. Okay, first there is an image view, so I used an image view and I gave it an ID and I gave it width match parent and height 150 dp. Let's look at that design. There is the design. Okay, that's not right actually. How is this design even working? This is not the right code. I don't even know. At that day it worked, so I think it will be fine. Oh, sorry. As I said, he colors the text as fancy. He uses fancy text. He uses fancy colors. So it was so hard for me to use a text view and implement all those. So I used an image view and I made him export that PNG. Like, yeah, there is this image in drawable, I guess. Landing text. Where are you? Landing text. Here is that image he exported me to from Figma. I placed it on drawable folder. Whatever resource you are using, please place it on drawable folder. And if you are using an MP3 or PDF file, you cannot place it on a drawable folder. Drawable folder basically means PNG or XML file. If you want to keep like an audio for your application and things, just use an asset folder. For creating that, just right click here and new and go to folder, assets folder. That will give you an asset folder like this. Keep your PDF file, MP3 file, whatever in asset. Okay. First, and I made it stay in center of the parent, like center in parent true. Then it stayed in the center of the parent. Yeah, I think the design went well. I did this because when we shorten our screen, Nexus 5 is a small screen, but the design looked exactly the same on a small screen and on a larger screen and not on a large screen. I guess I'm not going there. Okay, Pixel 3 is a big phone. But when we are going to an XS5, it is showing the same design. That means this design is responsive. As a designer, he can design whatever he wants because we are viewing it in a PPT format. We are viewing it in web. But as a developer, you need to look that your design is responsive or not. Like I made this text to stay in center so that it will stay in center for whole screens out there. Like whether your phone is small, whether your phone is big, it will stay there. Now, how I placed this? I used another image view. I gave it a width of 200. I gave the height of 200. I need to get this as a circular image. Basically, our image view is a square image, and I didn't know how to make this a circular image. So I asked the designer, that's basically Hemant, to export an image which is circular in nature. So, where is the image? I think this. So I made him export a circular image with transparent background, so it will look like a circular image view. If you face any problem, you can always work around. You can do better than this. Maybe someone already commenting in chat, which I cannot see right now. Better ways to implement this. There are a lot of better ways out there. I did this all myself. I have never learned from anyone. I just used my sense and did this. Now to the button. As you can see that there is a lot of code here. I gave a padding of 10. What does padding mean? I need to make that button a little bigger to the top. There is a padding bottom 10 dp. If I remove this to 0 dp, you will see the difference. Yeah, that space has gone. Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? I cannot. I will use this hand tool and show to you. And if I keep here 10, yeah, it's bigger and it looks kind of similar to Hen's design. Then I used an ID to identify my by button, and here is the thing, I used background color. It didn't work for me, so I used background tint and got my job done. And it must look like same as Hammond's button color. So I asked him to give the color code for that, and I gave that color code here, and I got that button. I gave a margin top so that there will be enough spacing and it will look beautiful. I gave a padding of start 30 dp. I don't know why. It did get the job done. Now the text color, I made it black because at default it will be something like grayish. So to make it beautiful, I made it black and I made it bold. And I gave a padding 30 here. If I remove this, you can see that that's that padding, and I gave the width wrap content, and I placed this below my image text, that is this, so that is below this, and I made the text appearance larger so it is visible, and yeah, it is in center horizontal. Now it will say in center for all screen. Now the text loading. Yeah, there is a warning, just ignore it. If you place that mouse button, you know that hard-coded string login should use address string resource. Just click on this yellow button. Yeah, it did get rid of my warning. I don't have to do much. Now there is another button. I will just copy paste this button down here and change the color to look like Hemant's design. And nothing else. I will just change that text to sign up, and there is a warning here. Just click this yellow button. Yeah, now this row and this basket, that's also an image view, and it was so hard for me to get things done, like place this rope to the left bottom corner, place this basket to the right bottom corner. So what did I chose to do is that I made an image like this. This is an image I made from those components he gave. He gave me this image. I placed this rope and this basket in Photoshop and made this image. And I set it as a background. So it will look exactly the same. No, it doesn't look exactly the same, but maybe it's not beautiful, but it got my job done. And I did got some applause. That's how you replicate a design in Figma to Android XML. And to make this functional, there you have Java. Here, here, here it is. Where is my file? There is a pool of file. I think it's landing activity. Always name your file that you won't get lost. Like there is a lot of page here, and I'm looking at my activity one, and I'm like, which is this activity? That would be so confusing for me to figure it out, right? There will be a lot of code. So I named it landing activity, then I will know that is the landing activity. But if I want a new page in this, what if Hammond gave me another design and asked me to implement that? What will I do? Oh, that is a good question. What does text appearance do? Text appearance, I will remove the text appearance and show you. Wait, we will go to login. Where's that? Where's that? Ah, oh shit, what did I do? Okay, where is it? Click here and you will head over to the code part. The text appearance, where are you? Yeah, here it is. If I comment this out, what will happen? I'm commenting this out. See, that did make it worse. That was not what I expecting. Make it see, the text is so smaller. Then you will need to use text size and make it bigger. You can do that, but I usually use text appearance here. No, large. So I will have a standard size across all over my application. Yeah, it is also the preferred app by Android Studio. It is a predefined size, so I'm using that. I think that solves your answer. Priyadarshini, I think that's all your answer. Now, if you want, if Hemant gave me another design, like he designed yesterday an app for portfolio, right? And he asked me to implement that page in our application. Like, what if a manufacturer want to have a resume? Like, what if a distributor want to have a resume? He must be able to click a button and open up a page. So I need a page, right? Page called portfolio application. So just head over to Java and this folder, click new and head down. There is an activity. What activity professionals do use? It's empty activity. Just click on the empty activity. Name it whatever you want, but I will name it portfolio because I don't want to get lost in a lot of activities out there. What I mean is portfolio activity, and the package name, everything will be filled out for you. Just click finish and let the Android Studio do the job. Right. Okay. Yeah, I did made that application. Now, as I said, Hemant want to click on this login application and we must go to the portfolio activity. How will I do that? Just I need Java, I guess. So I have declared a button here, button login button. That's my button's name. The actual purpose of that button is to login. So there is a sense of naming that variable as login button. And that login button is equal to find the view by ID, and I identified as that as this button here. So that solves it. Landing login button. So my login button is assigned as the XML button. Now that login button, this login button, I set an on-click listener. That is pretty much self-explanatory. That means it will listen to your clicks on that button. Yeah, I will raise it and do it. Login button dot. That on-click listener is right over there, but just type set on click listener. Yeah, there it is. There it is. And in this type new, Android Studio is already saying that we need an on-click listener right there. So I will type new on-click listener. Come on, Studio, help me. Where is your suggestion? I thought Android Studio will suggest me a way to go, but he didn't. Oh, I think I missed my camel casing. If you look clearly, the O is capital. So I will press O. Oh, there it is. Just click here, and there is the code you want. Now there is a function when you click, and we want to open our portfolio activity with this click, right? So we will create an indent. Opening a page is basically known as indent. Indent equal to new indent, and we want to go from where to where. We want to go from landing activity, that means this, to we want to go to portfolio activity. So we will write portfolio activity dot class. We want to go there. What is the error here? Cannot resolve. I don't get it. That use get application. It solves it. Now we need to start this indent, right? Just use start activity indent. So when we click that button, we should head over to the portfolio activity as of now. So I'm clicking the play button and wait for the emulator to start. So I will answer your questions. Hmm. You can use circle image view library. Yes, of course you can use, but I didn't know about it, so I didn't want to mess up. So I used an image view and made him do the job and use that image, and that seemed pretty fine for me. And bro, attendance link. Okay, today's net is over. That's sad. Not released yet. What's the difference between margin left and margin start? That's a good question. I really don't know. Whenever I use margin left, Android Studio always say that use margin start. Like they will remove margin left sooner or later, and then we will use margin start. It does the same job. So why do we need to dig up on that? Just use margin start. It does the job for you, right? What does the text appearance do? I already the answer. And not just Figma. Okay, that's a good point. Can you send the attendance sheet again? Why are you guys worried about the attendance? There is a footnote forever. Okay, am I missing right here? Okay, guys, any question here? No, I guess. So our emulator is running, and my app didn't run. Why my app didn't run? Oh, still Gradle build running. Okay. Static filter, right? Yeah, it does the same job. I think my Android Studio is not responding because I'm running an emulator 234 Chrome and something in background. I guess Figma. It will be something like that. So here it is. This is my application. I replicated the design as I said, and I click on login. Now it is going to the portfolio activity, which basically does have nothing. Portfolio activity doesn't have anything. So I will put a text view here, and text view. How does this work? This. Yeah, I actually don't need to code if this is the case. Mm, I can just, I think I can just type here. This is the portfolio activity. Yeah, there is it. And if I run it again, it won't take much time, I guess. Mm, another. Was there another? Yeah, let it work. So just go back and where is my application? Where is it? No, this is not. Where is it? The track. And I click login. And this is the portfolio activity. That's what we wanted. So that's how you add a new page and head over to that. So guys, I'm not taking the Java part here. I have just I have only talked about the XML part. And if you want to implement functionalities and things, you will need to use Java. So the basics basically. Why do we have two screens in palette? I didn't get your question. Is this? Oh, one is the design gave by Heyman. This is the design gave by him, and this is where I develop. Like, yeah. Oh, this two screen. I don't really know the purpose of this, but when you click this, it gives you more of an idea about your layout, I guess. If you head over to this, you can see that there is a clear view of how much that image view is taking and some stuffs. And there is a graph. I don't even know what does that mean. Also, this thing, this units, how much spacing and how related, everything is shown in that layout. This is what you see, and this is the background measurements you gave. So guys, that's it for the basics. I won't dig much deeper. I think I have said a lot, and I have been talking continuously for like a lot, 1.5 hours, I guess. So I will stop right here, and I have a lot to say to you. As I said, a basic Android class is not something you can attend and you are good to go. When I made this application, you are seeing right on the screen, I didn't know how to use camera in Android application. I don't know how to use camera and the basics of using a camera in Android application, because that basics was not necessary for my application to work. So if you are going to build something, like if you are going to build a project, just learn the basics you require. Just understand the basics you require. Like if you are going to build a notes application, just learn the basics of XML. Just learn the basics of how to store these data in your phone and all. That's how it is done. Like learn that basics and you are good to go. And if you really want to learn every basics, I would suggest Udacity, because as Nikilator, he started with Udacity. I started from Udacity, and there are a lot of people who started with Udacity and doing fine because they get your discount. As you can see, it's a paid content, but if you look closely, there are free content. Mhm. You go to software. That's it is all with my blog. Okay, I just want to be quicker to the link. Yeah, let's head over to here, and you can see that this is a free course. Developing Android apps is a free course. Start free course, and you're pretty much good to go. The everything I started with Udacity, and I am fine. So if you really want to learn and start somewhere, yeah, he already gave the link. You can click that, you can sign up, and that's a free course. And they really explain from the basics. I really got bored sometimes because it was pure basic. Like you don't need to have any knowledge about coding or stuff. They explain it with like taking coffee beans and stuff. They're explaining, relating it to the real world. So I would suggest Udacity if you really want to stick and start somewhere. Yeah, just head over to Udacity and start how to use different APIs and stuff. Actually, the free course include everything. Like there is basic. If you this is my blog, I won't suggest visiting here, but it would be great because I wrote it myself. Just head over to here. You can see that these all are free course. It's all are from Udacity on basic topic. This is to get you started. This is to, just get you started on design. This is to get you started on like user input. This is to get started on multiple screen. This is to get started on no, networking. The networking, you asked API and stuff, and that belongs to networking. Yeah, UI Java network. So there is it. You have free courses there. Just go in there and you are good to go. They will teach you about APIs, and I learned a lot about API from Udacity actually. I learned about a API search engine. I kept it in my notes, keep.google.com, but I am not opening that right now because I have some personal notes over there. But yeah, I will give you after I stop presenting, stop sharing my screen. Also, that is a basic. And the next thing what I do is, if I'm asked to make a PDF reader app, I'm not going to say that I don't know how to do that. I will just YouTube it. If you can go to YouTube, hmm, yeah, how to see. Someone yesterday asked me, "Can you create a PDF reader app?" And I searched a lot how to create PDF reader app in Android Studio, and there is a lot of tutorial. And I first watched this one. Uh, it was a crap. Then I watched this, which have part one, part two, part three. That was also useless. Then I used this tutorial. Where is that? There is 1 hour video. This tutorial by Jerry Banfield. He did talk useless things for the 1 hour, and he explained how to do the job in last 10 minutes. So I skipped over to the last 10 minutes to, okay, Google doing stuff. I did like slide it over here, and I setting up permission, loading that, setting up implement PDF view, and this is where I started learning. And I saw some code, so I copy pasted it to my app, and my app worked. Ta-da! Yeah, this is the PDF viewer I actually used. This is the thing he actually explained that video in the last 10 minutes. It's pretty much good. I use this to create an application. So that's it for the basics, guys. I have not much to say. If you have any doubts, please shoot at me. I think I will be able to answer it. And we have Nicolaitan here, Hashim here. They are also pretty much good at this stuff. So if you have any doubt, this is the right place to ask. As I said, just go to build APK, and send it over to your friend and boast about it. That's the pretty cool stuff about Android. That's it, guys. That's it, guys. I'm done. I'm pretty much trained. I think you like my session. Hemant, please take over. Please help me out here.
No one has any doubts or questions? You can ask him anything right now. We'll wait for some questions if there's any. And I don't know about you guys, but like this was literally one of the best sessions that I've had. And I'm not saying that to like sugarcoat this whole thing. LinkedIn, yeah, sure. Shaheen, please give them your LinkedIn account so they can connect with you. So I think this was a really good session because I was not expecting this much. Like he actually showed you the transition. Like most of you guys had asked what happens after the designing stage in Figma, and it's not just Figma. Whatever tool you used, I showed you guys Figma. That's it. You can use any design tool to create your design. And what is the process of transferring all that design onto this interface? So you have to understand that 2 hours is not enough to explain the whole coding and everything. So what he has basically shown you is implementing the whole design in XML. The Java alone is a huge topic. Coding in that is a huge thing. So he has given you the link of where to go to learn the fundamentals. So do fill in the attendance form and the feedback form. And there's a question, if you want another session by the speaker, if we have a lot of good responses for that, maybe in the future we can hold a larger course or something like that, which will give you the whole thing. And on another note, I would like to thank two people who were here yesterday, who were here today. One is Nikhil. He's a senior of ours, and he has been really helpful throughout the session. So, and he is kind, and Shaheen calls him his mentor, and I guess in an indirect way, he's my mentor too. So he has helped us a lot in all our hackathons, everything. So thank you, Nikhil, for being here today. And we have Harsham also, who is another Android developer and part of DSC. So both of them were like really helpful today. So thank you guys. So yeah, so I'll hand over to Anjana now for the vote of thanks. So thank you, Shaheen. Thank you again.
So now we come to the end of the 5th day of our Hello World webinar. We've had a pretty successful run so far, and today's session was no exception. It was informative and interactive. I thank our senior Shaheen for today's session, and I also thank every one of you for taking part in this webinar. The session has ended, and you may all exit from the platform now.